I just need you to get real loose. Get comfortable. Grab your loved ones, or grab your love partner. And if you're by yourself, no worries. Just follow after me. Gonna do the two-step, then cowboy boogie. Grab a sweetheart and spin out with him. Do the hold down and get into it. Take it to the left now and dip with it. Don't throw down, take a sip with it. Now lean back, put your hips in it. Let's have some fun. To the left now. To the right. Now take your left hand and put it on your side. Gon' roll your shoulders. Do the slip and slide. This next part's my favorite part, cause it's time to shine. Gonna do the two-step, then cowboy boogie. Grab a sweetheart and spin out with him. Do the hold down and get into it. Take it to the left now and dip with it. Don't throw down, take a sip with it. Now lean back, put your hips in it. It's simple, you can do it. Slide to the left, slide to the right. Now cool down, have a good time. Slide to the left, slide to the right. Do the butterfly, have a good time. Round, round, round and round you go. It's time to show out right now and take to the floor. Gonna do the two-step, then cowboy boogie. Grab a sweetheart and spin out with him. Do the hold down and get into it. Take it to the left now and dip with it. Don't throw down, take a sip with it. Now lean back, put your hips in it. Take it down now, take it down now. Take it down now, take it down now. Bring it up now, bring it up now. Bring it up now, bring it up now. Take it down and crisscross. Bring it up now, crisscross. Do whatever you like right here. Just have fun. Gonna do the two-step, then cowboy boogie. Grab a sweetheart and spin out with him. Do the hold down and get into it. Take it to the left now and dip with it. Don't throw down, take a sip with it. Now lean back, put your hips in it. That was not so bad. That was not so bad, was it? That was not so bad. That was not so bad, was it? That was not so bad. That was not so bad, was it? That was not so bad. That was not so bad, was it? Gonna do the two-step, then cowboy boogie. Grab a sweetheart and spin out with him. Do the hold down and get into it. Take it to the left now and dip with it. Don't throw down, take a sip with it. Now lean back, put your hips in it.
Hey, old man sitting on a stool. I've seen you in here for a while. Your best days are now in your rear view, but you still find a way to smile. I know there's no secret to life. It seems like you got it down to a T. Got any long neck advice for a good old boy like me? And he said, call your mama, see the world. Get the tattoo, kiss the girl. Count your blessings, thank your stars. Learn your lesson, earn your scars. Life's a sunset from the porch, as beautiful as it is short. So drink it up, but make it last, son. Cause every beer could be your last one. Oh yeah, every beer could be your last one. He ordered us both a PBR. So take this with a grain of salt. But life ain't like the sold-out bar. We don't know when it's our last call. So make I can't deny regret. A couple words that you don't use, and one day you might be right here telling somebody like you. tap, then he was gone. I don't know where that old man went. Could have been heaven, could have been home. Either way, I ain't seen him since. Since he said, call your mama, see the world. Get the tattoo, kiss the girl. Count your blessings, thank your stars. Learn your lesson, earn your scars. Life's a sunset from the porch, as beautiful as it is short. So drink it up, but make it last, son. Cause every beer could be your last one. Oh yeah, every beer could be your last one. You never know, every beer could be your last one. Every beer could be your last one. So I surrender all, and I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Savior. I surrender all, and I surrender all. Oh, and I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Savior. I surrender all. Sing, I surrender all. Oh, and I all to Thee. Blessed Savior, surrender.
Baby, you a song, you make me wanna roll my windows down and cruise. Hey, baby. Yeah, when I first saw that bikini top on her, she's popping right out of the South Georgia water. Thought, oh, good Lord, she had them long tan legs, couldn't help myself, so I walked up and said, well, baby, you a song, you make me wanna roll my windows down and cruise down a back road, blowing stop signs through the middle every little farm town with you in this brand new Chevy with a lift kit.
Well,
Look a hell of a lot better with you up in mid.
if everybody can hear me, we're going to start the program in about 5 minutes. So if you could find yourself a comfortable place where you can see and hear around the stage, we'll be starting in about 5 minutes. So please enjoy, grab a drink, grab something to eat, and the program will start in about 5 minutes. Thank you.
Sweetheart of summer, she hopped right up into the cab of my truck and said, fire it up, let's go get this thing stuck. Baby, you a song, you make me wanna roll my windows down and cruise down a back road, blowing stop signs through the middle every little farm town with you in this brand new Chevy with a lift kit. Would look a hell of a lot better with you up in it. So baby, you a song, you make me wanna roll my windows down and cruise. guitar and strummed a couple chords and sang from the heart. Girl, you sure got the beat in my chest bumping. Hell, I can't get you out of my head. Baby, you a song, you make me wanna roll my windows down and cruise down a back road, blowing stop signs through the middle every little farm town with you. Well, baby, you a song, you make me wanna roll my windows down and cruise down a back road, blowing stop signs through the middle every little farm town with you. In this brand new Chevy with a lift kit, look a hell of a lot better with you up in it. Come on, baby, you a song, you make me wanna roll my windows down and cruise. Come on, girl, get those windows down and cruise. Oh, yeah.
This is a song that when he asked before things kind of got a little out of hand here, he asked what my favorite song was of the stuff that we do, and this is hands down my very, very favorite song. I wonder if it will be for all of my life. As it is, I mean, if it is, I think I'm going to be okay with it. It's called The Dance.
Looking back on the memory of the dance we shared beneath the stars above, and for a moment all the world was right, but how could I have known that you'd ever say goodbye? And that glad I didn't know the way it all would end, the way it all would go. Our lives are better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the day. Holding you, I held everything. For a moment, wasn't I here? But if I'd only known how the king would fall, he used to say, you know, I might have changed it all. And I'm glad I didn't know the way it all would end, the way it all would go. Our lives are better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the day. Yes, my life, it's better left to chance. I could have missed the pain, but I'd have had to miss the dance.
to everybody that's here tonight, either on the radio or right here in person. I don't know if you'll ever experience this, but going somewhere far, far away from your home and still feeling at home is quite a thing to experience. Thank you very much for it. God bless you guys. Have a good night. If we can, if you guys don't mind, let's have a big
Good evening, everyone. What a beautiful night. On behalf of Sherry's family and her friends, I'd like to welcome you to an evening of celebrating life of an amazing woman that we love and miss. As we mourn the loss of Sherry with her family, let's also celebrate the incredible life that she lived tonight. Let's promise to carry forward together. Let's make that promise to carry forward her torch, the bright light that she was and the courage and compassion that she had, ensuring that her legacy will continue. I'm Ray Evernham, and I was blessed to know Sherry Pollex. Tonight, I'll be helping out with as some of Sherry's friends and family talk about great memories and great stories. And with that said, the first person I would like to bring up is Sherry's dad, Greg Pollex.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming, and those on the live stream. You know, we couldn't invite everybody. We didn't have a venue big enough for everybody, so we tried to hold it down a little bit. What I want to do is introduce the immediate family to you. We have Sherry has a lot of her cousins here, Sharon's sister. There's a lot of family here, and hopefully during the evening you'll get a chance to meet them. But family was most important to Sherry. That was number one on her list. So I thought it was important. Come on, you guys. I want you to meet Sherry's family, especially those people watching on the live stream. A lot of us spent a lot of time with Sherry the last year. She was always a jovial person. She was always up. She never complained about anything, and she always made sure that the family was taken care of and gathered where Sherry wanted them to gather. Those of you that know Sherry, she had this innate ability to direct. And you're here tonight partially because this is what she directed. This is the shirt she bought me. And these are the jeans she bought me. So I'm fully decked out. So come on, guys. Sharon, I think most of you know Sharon. She's mom to half the garage. But for those on the live stream who've never met Sharon, this is the consummate mom. As Sherry used to say, do not give mom too much money because it will be gone. She loved to spend, and boy, don't I know that for the first several years. This is Julia. Julia was Sherry's stepmom for many years. Julia used to do a lot of the photography for different events for Sherry. In fact, didn't do catwalk for a while, right?
First catwalk.
Okay. Oldest daughter, Jill. Most of you know Jill. Again, live stream people. This is Jill. Jill runs the foundation. I'm going to, dedicate a lot more of my time to helping with the foundation now to carry on this legacy, to expand it. Again, we hope to maybe get the opportunity to get into research a little bit. If we can raise enough funds, we've opened some wings and we've done some really cool things, but we think we're getting close and we want to help do our part to find a cure for everybody's cancer. Okay, the oldest and the only other male besides me is Jay. Jay's our Mr. Fix-It, owns a construction company, and when something goes wrong, whether it was Sherry or Mom or somebody, hey, Jay, and Jay came running. Jay has his wife, Holly, there in the back, if you guys can see her. 2 boys, Chase, Levi, and in the back is our shy but very capable man, Fuzz Bergdorf. Claudia is the youngest in the family. She spent a lot of time with Sherry, helping with care over the last year. Diane Pernack spent a lot of time, used to spend the nights with Sherry just to make sure everything was going fine. I got to tell you one little quick story about Fuzz, and I'm going to turn this back to Ray. I get this video. This was, I don't know, how long ago, 3-4 months ago, something like that. I get this video. Fuzz never texts anything. I mean, I'm sure he does to some people, but he and I, if it's not sincere race stuff, there's no dialogue. Now, Coors Light excluded, okay? So I get this video, and it's this golf cart with lights on it everywhere. Sherry's kind of shrieking out of laughter, which was big. We always try to get her to laugh. And Fuzz builds her this absolutely fabulous golf cart. I mean, it's got more bells and whistles. One little epilogue to the story. So Fuzz and I were taking a ride one day in the golf cart, and he was telling me how it decelerates and accelerates and all that stuff. I said, how fast does it go? Well, flat out, I think it went like, 29 or 27? 41. No, the old one.
Oh, God. Like, yeah, 15.
So it was like, 20-mile-an-hour golf cart. This ain't going to do. So the next time I went back and got in the golf cart, 41 miles an hour. So we had the fastest golf cart in Cheryl's Ford right now. So everybody, that's the family. We do want to make this a joyous event. It's very important to Sherry. She set a party. She said, Dad, have a party in my honor. Invite my closest friends, which is what we're doing. Have a nice night.
Thank you, Greg, and thank you to Sherry's family, and thank you to all of you. You are all part of Sherry's family, and it warms, I'm sure, the family's heart and my heart to look out and to see so many faces. She loved you all, and I know that you loved her, and I know that you all can provide her a good party, which she desperately wanted you to have. So while we would have loved to have all of you come up and tell your favorite Sherry stories, that would have been impossible because we'd have been here more than all night, and there would have been more stories to be told. So we asked a few folks that represent the various parts of Sherry's life to come up and say a few words. But before we do that, I'd like to bring up Kenny Crosswaite, who has been a pastor and a good friend to the family and a friend to many of us.
let's see. Everybody's always so much taller than I am, so I feel like they do that on purpose many times. This is a difficult time because I get the opportunity and the privilege to try to sort of sum up the faith aspect of Sherry's life. I think the part that gave her the radiance that we all responded to, gave her the light and the love that was used by God to inspire and influence people. And so it wasn't lost on me that God chose to take her home, take her back to in His presence on the Sabbath, on a Sunday, a day that we set aside to many of us to race, of course, but also in our relationship with God to pause and say thank you. And as I reflected on that, and as many of you reflected on that, my dominant thought since that moment, I have to say, has been Sherry's smile. My dominant thought, the minute that I knew that He had taken her into His presence, I thanked God for her smile. You can see it in every picture. You can see it. All of us remember it at times when we needed to see it. And I'll have to say, thinking about that smile and knowing where it came from, knowing the source of that smile, is also a place where I've had to anchor my feelings because, like many of you, my feelings have been all over the place. And so, in that setting, the family, and in that context, the family allowed me to read through her journals. And one entry after another, one statement after another, she was so honest and so forthright and candid. And in those entries, she confirmed what I already knew to be true. I've known her for a long, long time and watched her grow, not only as into a radiant woman, but watched her grow spiritually. And not knowing until the diagnosis, not knowing that she would have a need for that type of spiritual depth. And so we watched it, I watched it, so I wasn't really surprised. As a matter of fact, the journals just confirmed what I already knew. Her faith was foundational to all of her choices. Her faith was foundational. It was the root behind all of the things that she did. She pursued a deep faith. She pursued a faith that was real. As y'all know, Sherry was never content with just sort of being involved, being around. She wanted to be all in on everything. Even when I was sharing whether she may have picked the wrong thing years ago, she was all in. And so, but as she continued to grow all in her faith, it was fun to watch because she, at that point, I don't know how else to say this. She, in the South especially, but throughout this group and others, I'm surrounded with people that are believers. And I'd like to make a distinction, if I could, in reference to Sherry, because we're here to honor her and to laugh about her stories, but we need to know in that celebration what is the root of that. And I would say that Sherry was a knowing. She went from just being a believer to being a knower. Years ago, we had a chance to talk, and I shared with her a story. I was trying to help her understand all the things that were going on in her life, and she was teaching me, and I was trying to teach her, and she was correcting me, and I was trying to accept it. And so, but in that context, it was funny because I told her this story a musician had shared with me years ago, and he talked about it, and I won't go through the whole thing, but it was a story about a father and a son. And a father and son went on a camping trip. And as they were on the camping trip, they were just amazed. The young boy was amazed by being in the woods, being in the outdoors. And then one of the most wonderful things for him is the father did a campfire. And in that campfire, they began to do what all little children would enjoy, roast marshmallows. And as they were roasting the marshmallows, in that context, the little boy, in his enthusiasm, would see his marshmallow begin to melt and start to fall off of the stick, and he would reach to grab it. And the father would stop him, of course, and caution him that don't let your excitement put you in a place where you don't want to be. And so, but as it happens, it began to fall off again, and the little boy reached in to try to grab the marshmallow, and he wasn't coordinated enough to move out of the fire, and so he burned his fingers. And so I'm listening to this story, and this guy said to me, at that point, that young boy went from his father's caution of believing that the fire was hot to knowing that the fire was hot. And I would say that about Sherry. She didn't just know about God. She wasn't just a believer. She was a knower. And in that knowing, she knew that God made her. She knew that God loved her. She knew that even though she had flaws, God forgave her. And in that forgiveness, he said, I will make you extraordinary because that's the way I've created you. She lived that. She believed that. She knew that. So on the 17th, the reason I was thinking about her smile, even though that we know that the scripture says, throughout the scripture, but we know that in the scripture it says, in the twinkling of an eye, she went into the presence of the Father. We know in the Gospels that it says God has prepared a place for her. And in that place, it's perfect. And then when we go to the end of the Bible, in the book of Revelations, it says God makes all things new. There will be no tears. There will be no pain. There will be no crying. And as you continue to go through that passage in chapter 21 of Revelation, he says this, the glory of the God lights up the heavens. There's no need for a moon or the sun because his glory illuminates. And that is why when Sherry went into his presence, and the reason that we're here to celebrate this, I think that I don't know all that happened when she went into the presence of the Father, but I do know that she went, I knew it. I knew this was true. And she just began to rejoice and to celebrate. And I can see her in all of her spunkiness, shouting that out to the people that she met, that she'd already influenced in the past, the people that she had loved in the past that were there. She'd just grab them and she'd say, I knew it. I knew it. And she would want us to do the same thing, to move deeper, broader than just believing, but knowing. How do we get there? I'm going to borrow from a passage in Isaiah 6, and I'm going to go through it really quickly because there's so many wonderful parts to this evening. But I want to get some words in our minds. Isaiah 6 says this, arise and shine because the glory of the Father has come upon you, and you are invited to reflect it in all things. And I will bring people to you, and they will see the light. They'll see the smile of Sherry. They'll see the laughter. And they will know. Not just believe, but they will know. And so here's what I would like to say to each of us. the reason that you're here and the reason that you have so many wonderful stories is because Sherry, she would rise every day. When the passage says arise, I think every day she'd wake up, and we're making fun of it, but she wanted to not just do things, she wanted to do them right. And she wanted all of the rest of us to do it right. Although I'll take exception with that shirt she picked for her father. But that might have been a joke on him. She would arise. And in that, she would say, Father, let me shine. When she said in one of her journal entries, when she said, nobody wants to be the poster child of any kind of cancer. But God has given me this task. And I want to shine. That takes a knowing faith, doesn't it? Not just a believing faith. But she would arise, she would shine, and in that shining, she shattered the darkness. She brought hope to people. She brought laughter. When she was bothered with it, she brought fear. But she always brought something. She shattered the darkness. And then she would, I think, shower other people with love. Shower them with light. And we have a chance now to reflect on her life and be stimulated. The book of Hebrews says that we should do what? Not forsake assembling together, but gather together to stimulate each other to love and to good deeds. She modeled that for us. And I'm grateful. I want to arise with a deeper sense of knowing. I want to remember her. Think about how her smile was radiant here, and it's brilliant now. I want to shine, and she wants you to shine. She wants us to shatter darkness and shower people with love and be used to stimulate each other to love and good deeds. We used to laugh about her love for children and how she would impact children. There was an author years ago named Elizabeth Elliot, in one setting, in one of her books, she'd been through so much tragedy in her life, and she said, it's no small thing to bring a smile or to receive a smile from a child because they are so recent from the presence of God. What a great thing. Don't we all like to lean down and have children smile? Sherry was great at that. Gave them hope, encouraged them. Let's arise. Let's shine for the Father and in memory of her. Let's ask God to help us shatter the darkness of despair, disconnection, and just apathy. And let's shower others. Stimulate each other. Be radiant. There's another passage in Exodus that as God has met with his people in the Old Testament, just at the foot and right along Mount Sinai, there's a great passage in Exodus 24 that says, behold me, eat and drink and rejoice. That's what we're doing tonight. We get a chance to behold the Creator through his life in her and how she expressed it. I think we get a chance to say to each other, be glad. Be glad. In the midst of all the emotions, anchor ourselves in the reality of a deep, deep faith. That's why we're here. That would honor her. And it would help continue her dream and vision. Let's pray. Father, there are so many places to go in the scripture. There'd be so many places to go just in her journal entries. And yet we are here to just sort of hit the tip of the mountain. Father, we want to thank you for giving us Sherry. What a tremendous gift, with all of her passion, all of her excitement. Every moment when she was all in, even when she came to you and asked for forgiveness and then said, let's do it again. Let's go out there, arise and shine, and shatter darkness. Father, thank you that she knew, not just a believer, but a knowing believer. And thank you for the party that she's having in heaven now and the invitation she's given to us to party here. We should be about rejoicing. We should be about celebrating because you created us and you enter into relationship with us so that we can live triumphantly. Thank you for her winning moment on the 17th. Thank you for that winning moment when she heard you say, well done, good and faithful servant. Welcome. All things are ready for you. And the Father's glory just lit her up. Thank you for your word that gives us hope. Thank you for Jesus that allows us to embrace it all. Amen.
Thank you, Kenny. And I'm sorry about the height difference, but you're going to have to take that up with your boss. Okay. Okay, so we're heading to the program where we're going to laugh and we're going to cry and we're going to tell stories and we're going to enjoy it. And there's some wonderful people back here ready to tell us some great stories about Sherry. And the first one I want to bring up is Claudia Pollex, Sherry's sister.
Just before Claudia talks to you about her sister, I forgot. I say this all the time. There's three things that happen to you when you get old. The first is you lose your memory, but I forgot the other two. And I forgot to mention Angela, Sherry's other sister. Angela couldn't be here tonight. She is an equestrian. She made the Ariat finals, the top 30 riders in the country. So she is in Maryland competing. So Angela, I hope you're watching on live stream. You got a bunch of fans here, so we'd certainly like to see some ribbons come home. Here's Claudia.
Hi, everyone. I know despite the fact that I am quite tall, I promise you guys I am Sherry's little sister. Sherry was 18 years old the day I was born. She turned 19 the next week, and she watched me grow from that little baby to a woman, and all 25 years of my first bit of life, she got to be here for it. I was a junior in high school when Sherry was diagnosed with cancer, and the first time I ever drove Sherry to chemotherapy, I was only 17 years old. So part of growing up and becoming a woman also involved watching my sister battle such an intense disease. I was thinking about what I wanted to say when I came up here, and there are so many stories and anecdotes and wonderful things I could say about my sister. And then I started to think about how all of you out there get to remember Sherry as a brilliant philanthropist and an amazing and thoughtful friend, a giant in the NASCAR industry, a cancer survivor, a champion fighting for other women and children suffering from the same disease. I mean, the list goes on and on. But I really want to talk about how me and a few other people here tonight get to remember Sherry in a very unique way, and that's as our sister. So there's a beautiful, for all of you out there who have siblings, you know, there's that beautiful piece of having a sibling that you're cut from the same cloth, right? So you share this common ground deep-rooted inside you, and then you grow up and become your own person as you get older. Sherry and I got to bond over so many things over the years. Her whooping me in cards, board games, going for walks, our love for our home states, both Michigan and North Carolina, love for dogs, painting each other's nails, all sorts of the sister things that you expect. For anyone who's ever been to Sherry's house, you know the minute you walk through the door, she tries to feed you. If you were there for 30 minutes without a full belly, it was a miracle. And I think being the little sister, she often went even further, and she would send me home with leftovers and all sorts of food. She wanted to make sure I had enough to eat. I remember one time she handed me a raw sweet potato, said, "Here, take this too." And then there's that side of having a sibling, right? The brutal honesty. They're going to keep it real with you. And so there were a few times where Sherry said, "Really? You're going to cut your hair like that? Are you sure that's the right outfit you want to wear tonight?" And I think that's part of the job, you know, sisters got to keep it real with you, so as part of it. But also part of the job was being there. And Sherry did a phenomenal job. When I needed her, she was there. And she would stand right up and do whatever it took to take care of me and make sure that I was healthy and happy and safe. And she'd continue to check in on me long after I had said I'd needed anything. So she was wonderful about being there, not just for me, but for all of the people in my family and her friends. The other part about having a sister is the part I miss most, the long conversations. There were times that Sherry and I'd start on one subject, and we'd get going, and we'd be talking, and all of a sudden we'd look at the clock and realize we'd blown past both of our bedtimes. It was going to be a tired morning tomorrow. We'd talk about everything. I felt like Sherry and I had a lot of common ground. We were able to really relate on how we saw other people and our love for other people and our want to do serving work towards others and to really give as much of our heart while also protecting our own peace and taking care of our boundaries. We just had an easy time talking and getting along. The thing about having an older sibling is they're like a guru for your life, right? They have these years of experience, and in Sherry's case, 18 of them. And she was able to warn me of things and give me advice, right? Like, hey, don't date that guy, he's a walking red flag. And hey, maybe don't cut bangs right now, you're kind of going through a life crisis anyway. But she also taught me about something very important in life that I'm sure many of you got the chance to witness her experiencing, but that was gratitude. Sherry had such a unique approach to gratitude. It was like this muscle that she kept fit, and it was so easy for her to flex. I mean, she was gracious and grateful about everything. Whether it was passing the salt across the dinner table or driving her all the way to South Charlotte and sitting all day long while she got chemo, the first words out of her mouth were always, "Thank you so much, I appreciate you, I love you." It came so naturally to her. I was missing her a few days ago, and I really wanted to read through the text and just kind of hear her voice again in my head. And I can notice this pattern through the text of randomly at like 1 o'clock on a Wednesday, she would just text me and say, "Hey, Claude, I'm thinking of you. I'm so proud of the person that you're growing into, and I love you so much." And she could just do that on a Wednesday afternoon and send you this text that pulled the rug out from under you and made you feel like your heart had just grown 3 times as big. And she had that brilliance to her gratitude. And I think because she was such a grateful person deep down and it just was rooted in who she was, it made this beautiful zest for life that she had. Sherry lived on purpose. She was never passive about anything. Sherry was very direct about what she thought and what she experienced in life and what she wanted. And she wanted to pursue these things with her whole heart. And I think whether it was laughing until we were red in the face over a card game or going for a walk at the state park, going to a concert, whatever moment it was, we could have been sitting at home watching Frozen. Sherry was just happy to be there with the people that she was with, in the place that she was, sick or not. Sherry was always just happy to be here and alive and surrounded by all of you people in her life. And that was the greatest gift she could have taught me, was to be grateful and to be present in the moment and mindful. Sherry did everything on purpose. Sherry was a daughter on purpose. She was a sister on purpose, a cousin, a friend. She didn't do anything half-assed. And so I'm sitting here thinking about my sister and how I want to remember her moving forward, and I have this gigantic legacy sitting right in front of me. And I want to point out that Sherry's legacy isn't just Sherry Strong and helping other women be empowered and educated to fight such a vicious disease, but her legacy is also the gratitude that she showed all of us. Her legacy is being present and in the moment and telling those that we love them that we do, and we are so glad that they are with us and by our side. That was what Sherry was best at, and I ask you guys moving forward to please help me carry my sister's legacy along, not just by helping us fight this vicious disease and support other women, but also remembering to tell those that you love them and to be mindful and present in the moments, because that's what Sherry was best at, and that's how we should remember her. Thank you, guys.
Okay, I don't know who did the order and who decided that I had to go after Claudia, but we're going to have words later, okay? Okay, I'm going to read from my phone because I really had to think about this. I'm Allison McKinney, and Sherry was the very first, true, solid, ride-or-die friend that I met when I moved to North Carolina to work in NASCAR. So please bear with me. I'm going to try and keep it together, and I'm going to read as best I can. Earlier today, when I was asked if I still wanted to speak tonight, I was nervous about being able to make it through and nervous about finding the right words to do Sherry justice. As I was thinking it over, I quickly realized what she would say to me. Suck it up, Buttercup. You don't have to be perfect, just speak from your heart. And that was our girl. She was strong, outspoken, graceful, beautiful inside and out, and the most determined person that I've ever known. When Sherry put her mind to something, you better get on board or get out of her way, because she was going to figure out a way to make it happen. I met Sherry in 2004 when I moved to North Carolina and began working in NASCAR, but we really became close in 2005 when Sherry worked on Rusty's Last Call, doing PR and marketing for Rusty Wallace in his final year of racing, and I worked with his brother Kenny. Yes, I did that. Yes. And yes, he's like that all the time, and we love him. Kenny raced for Sherry's dad's team, PPC Racing. When Sherry and I met in the Track Media Center one day, we clicked and immediately became friends. Sherry was so many things to so many people, but the thing I admired about her most was that she was always authentically and unapologetically herself. There were many times over the years that I would get a call or text saying, "Get over here, I need your help with something." And that could mean so many things. I never knew what it was until I got there, but she knew that I'd be there, and together we would figure it out. From a few small crises at the racetrack that later on we would laugh about, to hauling clothes to trunk shows that later turned into the first Catwalk for a Cause fashion show, to staying on the phone with her and trying to talk her out of going home, or at least waiting until the police and I got there, to go inside the house when she thought that someone had broken into the house. But she knew that her fur baby was in there, and the bottom line was she wasn't waiting for anyone. Life with Sherry was always exciting, But my most cherished times are our conversations and time spent discussing life while we watched the sunset or enjoyed our time out in the sun. Sherry was a bright light. People were attracted to her because of her beautiful heart and her kind, giving spirit. She made the world a much better place. She had a way of always making people feel heard, seen, and most importantly, loved. We could very easily be mad or upset that she was taken from us too soon, but that's not what she would want. I choose to try to focus on being thankful for the tremendous light that she was in this world and for the many ways that she made an impact, leaving it a much better place. Our close friend Tati said it best after we lost Sherry. My heart is full and empty all at once. We're sad that we didn't get more time with her, but we're so thankful for the time that the Lord allowed her to be in our lives. She fought so hard for so long, and she proved so many people wrong. But now she's no longer in pain. Fly high, my beautiful friend. I will do all I can to continue to support your work and to keep your legacy alive until we're reunited. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Rick. I had a unique, I think, relationship with Sherry, and the fact that I don't know if we would be called friends. Like, we were around each other a lot, and I think that made her feel comfortable to say things to me that maybe she wouldn't say to family or other people. So I'm going to actually read you a few messages that we shared back and forth. They're good ones, all good. But I want to start off by saying that there are a few people that are put on this earth that are heroes, that are leaders, that you naturally want to follow, you naturally want to emulate, you want to make them happy, you want to feel like they have made a difference in the world. And so I'll back up to 2016. I am hosting the NASCAR banquet, the awards banquet at the end, and the winner of the Betty Jane France Humanitarian Award is a gentleman by the name of Andy and Jack Hoffman. They're from Team Jack in Nebraska, and that is close to me because I grew up in Nebraska. But some of you may know this, but Jack Hoffman, at 10 years old, was diagnosed with a brain tumor, and he ran a 20-some-yard touchdown run at the spring game at Nebraska, and that was an inspirational video on ESPN, so he won the ESPY for that. There were the Humanitarian Award winners, Betty Jane France Humanitarian Award winners, and got me started as being the host of that event back in 2017. The reason I say that is because Sherry, when her diagnosis came about, I immediately started reaching out and just saying, how you feeling? And one of the first responses she said back was, everybody asked me that. Please don't ask me that. Ask me something else. And I said, all right, are you happy? She said, yes, that's the question I want you to ask me. So from really maybe the first time we ever spoke, I always asked Sherry, are you happy? And I took that back to Nebraska when I would do the Team Jack event every year, because those kids that are obviously going through treatment and suffering, and their families going through it, which everyone here is very well aware of, they appreciated not asking how they're feeling. Are you happy? Are you smiling? And that was the response that I think Sherry always appreciated, because she would tell me the truth. But anyway, to start this year off, this February, when I was back there was a young lady by the name of Isabella, or Bella, and she was 13 years old. and she was the spotlight child at the event this year. And she got up and told everyone at the event that 4 of her friends had earned their wings from the last time that we were there the year before. And, you know, it's hard to hear that from a 13-year-old. But she said then during her speech that she felt like she was going to earn her wings before we were able to reconvene next year. And she was okay with that. She wanted to earn her wings. And I spoke to her, and I told her about Sherry. And I said, there's a hero on the East Coast, North Carolina. Sherry, she's a fighter. She's a great role model. And I tried to always spread Sherry's word. So I'll get to the text now, by the way, or the messages. So one of the first times Sherry sent me a message, it was right before a broadcast, and it said, "Hi, my friend, hope you're doing well. We would really appreciate it if you guys mentioned the Honor a Cancer Hero program tonight on the broadcast." And then she goes on, I'm guessing it's probably 6 or 7 paragraphs of what I was supposed to say, which I thought was awesome. I think it's great. She told me how they can go, the website, how they can donate. She said, I know you guys talked a lot about Chase's paint scheme last weekend and his work with the Children's Hospital. So we're hoping that you can do the same for us on NBC. Huge program for us. It's raised over $90,000 last year. September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. I believe Richmond has gold ribbons painted on the front stretch again. I'm telling you details. I mean, she is giving me details of what I should say and the things that I'm going to see. So I responded back, are you happy after the broadcast? She said yes. In that moment, I was blissfully happy. God is so good. Later on, are you happy? Most of the time. Can't wait to see you at Catwalk. Are you happy today? Yes, with a big heart. Looks happy. How about you? Well, I am too. Getting some treatments down here for the next 3 weeks. Miss my family a lot, but they've been coming back and forth to visit, so that's been nice. Hope you're well. Happy too. I said, can I help with anything? She said, you're so sweet. I'm good. My mom got here today. So nice to have family with me, hoping to go to Charlotte race. Happy birthday, I said. Takes her mom. Smiling, she goes, yes, always. Thank you for the birthday wishes. Are you happy? I am most days. Are you happy? Yes, thank you, my friend. Then, not that long ago, again, numerous, are you smiling, are you happy? Not that long ago, I said, are you smiling today? She said, I wish. I'm not doing well, my friend. I wish I had better news. I said, always thinking of you, praying for your comfort, sending you hugs. She said, thank you, my friend. Miss seeing everyone. The prayers are so appreciated. The last time I said, are you happy, my friend? She said, sometimes. This has been really hard. I said, hugs for you. The last message she sent me said, thank you. I saw something that said that what she really wanted was the legacy that she left behind. And when I started off up here, there are a few people that are heroes, and we try to emulate. And I think what Sherry did in her life, she has inspired so many people. She's changed the world. She really has. She has made this world better because she was here and what she did and all the people that she's affected. So I'd love to challenge all of us to try to be the best we can be and just try to live up to what Sherry set as kind of the yardstick of what we should try to do. So that's my challenge to all of us. Let's try to keep that legacy that she has started alive and well. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Shannon Routh. I am the founder of an organization called Teal Diva. I met Sherry through the recommendation of our doctor. We were united. We were united by an ovarian cancer diagnosis, and we became Teal sisters. As many of you may now know, teal is the color for ovarian cancer awareness, just the same as pink is for breast cancer awareness. People handle a cancer diagnosis in many different ways, and that's all right. If you've had to hear those words, you've earned the right to handle it however you want. But then there are others who stand up and speak out to help others. And for a cancer that does not have a screening test yet, it is so important to stand up. Sherry chose to stand up. She chose to never give up. She brought so much awareness to ovarian cancer, and I would imagine many of you had never heard of it before her diagnosis in the same way that she, nor I, nor anyone else had heard of it before our own diagnosis. Sherry would not want her battle to be a loss or in vain. Her fight continues through each of you, here and watching. I encourage you to wear the color teal. I know it seems simple, but when people say, "Hey, I like your shirt," or your tie, or "I love those earrings," you can say, "Thanks. I'm wearing them in honor of my friend, Sherry," and then tell her story. This ensures that her legacy shines on. Until there's a proper screening test for ovarian cancer, we must never, ever give up, and we must remain Sherry strong.
Wow. I'm hearing a lot of the same themes tonight about Sherry. And she was just a joy to know. My name is Doreen DeStefano, and I had the privilege to be part of Sherry's medical team. Our partnership was a God thing. My son saw Sherry do an interview about her cancer during a race. And he said, "Mom, you should call her." I told him it didn't work that way. And I told him that people who are meant to find me, find me. Fast forward a little bit, and Sherry Pollex was on my schedule. God does work in mysterious ways. So I'm getting ready to go into her exam room, and I pull up her chart. We take pictures of new patients. And I usually get something like this. Or I get this. I pulled up Sherry's chart, and I got this. Yeah, that was classic Sherry. So at that moment, I knew that this was going to be a great thing. I didn't know what this was going to be at the time, but I knew that it would be great. Because with Sherry, you have to be all in. You have to be full throttle, heart wide open, and oh my God, I wanted to witness her miracle. It was the start of a friendship and a partnership that will last well beyond her lifetime. Because she taught me to be Sherry Strong. And that comes with some tears and some real heartbreak. But it also comes with her courage and her energy. Wow, did she have energy? We talked on the phone one night for hours, and she talked about her goals for serving everyone who had cancer, all of the amazing things that she wanted to do to help people with cancer. She talked like a preacher on fire for God for hours. It was amazing. She was amazing. And she did all that while she was sick and while she needed. Well, her heart was for everyone else, and I am amazed by her still. God's design for Sherry is not what our hearts want. We want her soul here with us. We want her here. But with her legacy, Sherry gives us the opportunity to witness miracles through the Sherry Strong Foundation. She felt that in the end, what you leave is most important. So we will keep her alive in our hearts and her legacy thriving on this planet. And as all of you know, God didn't break the mold after he created Sherry. There was no mold. He drew her freehand, bold, beautiful strokes. And we are eternally grateful for Sherry. And I'd just like to say to Sherry, it has been a long day without you, my friend. And we have come a long way from where we began. And I am going to tell you all about it when I see you again.
Hi, everybody. My name is Reese Crosby. Whoa, that happened quick. I was totally calm just a second ago. Anyways, the interesting thing about me being here tonight is I'm a friend of Sherry's, but what joins us together, weirdly enough, is ovarian cancer, because that's not possible for me to have. But in 2016, I was married to a beautiful lady named Brittany Crosby. And she fought for three long years. And around, I would say, 2018 or so, I started hearing about my friend Sherry. My friend Sherry. She's giving us great guidance. She's giving us good resources. She's another young person with ovarian cancer. My late wife was 27 when she was diagnosed. And it really became this person that I just kept hearing about. And my late wife would just glow whenever she talked about her. And we kept trying to coordinate meeting up, and just couldn't ever happen. My late wife, Brittany, passed away in November of 2019, and I was lost. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go. And so I started traveling. I started moving around, going different places. And then I get this message from Sherry. And like what I hear a lot of the times, I wasn't asked to come somewhere. I was told, you're going to come to the Daytona 500 in February of 2020. And I said, yes, I am. Yeah, of course. Whatever you say. And so whenever I found out that Sherry had passed away, it brings up a lot of different feelings, because what's interesting about my story, what's different from a lot of people that have been up here tonight, is I've only met Sherry in person once for a series of about 3 days total at the Daytona 500 in 2020. Whenever I found out that she had passed away, my tears hurt. They literally stung. It was very difficult. I was driving at the time. I had to pull over, and I didn't know who to reach out to, and I wanted to respect the family, so I chose not to for a couple days, and then I reached out to Jill, and she kindly invited me here. And to be honest, guys, I was scared. I was scared to come. So I didn't sign up to come till yesterday. And I booked my flight. I got a hotel, car, everything yesterday, less than, basically 12 hours ago. It was crazy. Or that would have been this morning. But anyways. And so what basically, I've heard a lot of things. There is, Suck It Up Buttercup was a great one. And, from my late wife, Britt, to Sherry, to everyone, it was like, all right, man, you got to get up here. And then whenever you register, would you like to speak? No. Well, yeah. No. Okay, yes. But they won't make me. It'll be fine. So, all that to say, I would like to tell y'all kind of just a summary of who Sherry is to me over one weekend at the Daytona 500 and why I chose to be up here and face some fears and speak to all you lovely people tonight. So, I had never met Sherry in person. I've only met her once. I pull up to the Daytona 500. She told me exactly where to go, exactly what to do. It was perfect, flawless, nailed it. I used to travel in a van. I parked into my parking spot, whipped out a lawn chair, kicked my feet up, ready to go, waiting for my friend Sherry to show up. So I'm sitting there, I'm on my phone, I'm reading, I'm looking around, and all of a sudden I hear screaming. I look to my right, and here's Sherry and Jill going full speed in a golf cart directly at me. They whip around, music blaring, just miss me, jump out, and we have a dance party instantly. No hugs, no anything, just dance party, just getting after it right away, no hesitation. And one thing that I've learned over the years is you got to start paying attention to the little things. That night, I was perfectly calm sitting there. Then all of a sudden, this force of energy comes and just brings this joy right away. If you would have asked me at that time, are you happy? No, I was not. I was scared. I was alone. And my friend Sherry, she wouldn't let that happen. You will not be alone. You will not be scared. You're going to be with me. You're okay. The most amazing sunset that night that I've seen in years. Absolutely beautiful. We took photos. We danced. We laughed. I almost got hit by a golf cart. That was almost my last day. But wouldn't you know it, that weekend would change my entire life. I have made friends and family now, what I consider, just over 3 days. It was just for fun is how it started, but it turned into so much more than that. One night there was a private concert that they invited me to so kindly. Cole Swindell was playing, and he has this one song called You Should Be Here. And that song, I knew it was coming. I knew he was going to play it. And whenever it happened, I instantly thought to Britt, because if it wasn't for her and if it wasn't for Sherry and their connection, the connection that Sherry just has with so many people instantly, I wouldn't have been there. Like, you should be here. I shouldn't be here. You should be here. And in that moment, I'm in front of all these important people that I don't know, and that's okay. I am just bawling, just absolutely mouth open, crying. No shame. No shame. And in that moment, Sherry and her mom just grabbed me. Everyone, Jay, everybody, just wrapped their arms around me. And in that moment, I felt this is why I'm here. It's community. It's safety. It's family. It's letting me know I'm not alone. No one's alone. You have Sherry. You have family. If you don't have family, you got her family. Come on in. You're good. Everybody's got you. And so that's why I faced my fear and came up tonight, is because I wanted to share with you that's what she gave me. She gave me an extra mom, an extra dad, a brother, a sister, everybody, a community, people that I haven't seen in 3 years, that instantly tonight we recognize each other, we say hi, we haven't missed a day. Everything is fantastic. So this bittersweet evil thing that cancer is, what I've learned is if you look for the beauty and the silver lining, it will be there and you will find it. And to me, that is, no matter how difficult this is, I have to find the silver linings and the positives because they are there. And that is everyone here tonight, this community, this safety net, this family that I now feel. And it's because of that that I faced my fears. It's because of Sherry that I faced my fears. It's because of my late wife, Britt. They paved the way. They taught me that even when they're going through something, they're going to support us. So no matter what, we're here for each other. We always will be. I love you guys. Thank you for having me. And I'm so grateful to be here and to share this night with you and to Sherry.
All right. Good evening. Thank you for the opportunity to speak tonight. My name's Sarah Case. Oh, okay. I'm Sherry's cousin. That's right. That's for you, Cher. I'm Sherry's cousin, and I would argue to say that I'm actually more like a sister, the bond that we share. Yeah. I would like to first tell my family how much I love you. I'll never forget the day Sherry was in Florida and took my hand in hers, placed it on her belly, and said, "Sarah, feel my belly. Something's not right. It's bloated and hard." She mentioned when she got back to North Carolina, she was going to go to the doctor to have it checked out, and I naively reassured her that I'm sure it was nothing, but it was probably worth getting looked at. Was I ever wrong? Getting that phone call, finding out my cousin had cancer, knocked the wind out of me and left my head reeling. Ovarian cancer? How? How could Sherry Pollex, at 35 years old, have cancer? She's too young. She's too beautiful. She's too smart. Doesn't cancer know who my cousin is? She's Sherry Lynn Pollex. I quickly learned that cancer didn't care that she was young, beautiful, intelligent, vibrant, and full of life. Cancer also wasn't interested in asking who Sherry was to me or anyone else who loved her, for that matter. But looking back on it, cancer should have asked. Because what cancer would have learned was Sherry Lynn Pollex was going to put up a fight that cancer had probably never seen before. She wasn't going to take this diagnosis lying down, and cancer wasn't going to win. And as I stand in front of you this evening at her celebration of life, I'm here to tell you that cancer did not win. Sherry made a decision to go to war. She went toe-to-toe with ovarian cancer, looked it straight in the eyes, and let it know just who she was. As I mentioned previously, cancer should have asked who Sherry Pollex was, because had it asked, I'm certain it would have moved on. What cancer failed to find out was that Sherry was the daughter of Greg Pollex and Sharon Pearson, the sister of Jay, Jill, Claudia, and Angela, the sister-in-law to Holly and Fuzz. She had some of the strongest foot soldiers anyone could ask for. As soon as the family found out, they all jumped into action. Endless doctor's appointments, chemo treatments, last-minute plane trips across the country, and so much more. But her family never wavered. No questions asked, no appointment, trip, or treatment too big. This battle was as much theirs as it was Sherry's. They all fought. And if Sherry or someone in the family needed anything at all, that's when us, her friends and extended family, put on our armor and stepped in and continued to help her in her fight. She had an army that stretched for miles, and we never stopped marching. For 9 years, we never stopped marching. Sherry led the pack in true Sherry fashion with a full and grateful heart. She taught us all along the way that war doesn't have to be ugly. We could still fight like hell and do it with love in our hearts. She researched, she studied, she lobbied. She fought cancer her way. She thought outside the box. She challenged some of the more traditional treatments. She opened herself up to holistic healing, and she put her faith in God. The most powerful and unbelievable thing about Sherry's fight was at no point was Sherry only fighting for herself. She was fighting for women and children too, people she had never even met before. Through her foundation, Sherry was blessing individuals and families who were fighting the same battle she was. She worked endlessly to make a difference and have an impact on people's lives. I often wonder how she was able to stay so positive, optimistic, and upbeat. How can anyone who had been through what she had been through remain so humble? To this very moment, I still grapple with that thought, but I'm reminded it's because she is and always was Sherry Strong. Sherry had a heart of gold, nerves of steel, and a faith in God that never wavered. I always felt privileged to be Sherry's cousin. We had so many incredible times together. I will forever cherish those memories. I've learned so much from Sherry throughout all of my years loving her. Stay grateful, take life in stride, remain graceful even when life knocks us down. Get back up every time, stronger and wiser than before. Live life out loud. Sherry taught me to take up space in this world and never apologize for it. Dream big, really big. Then chase those dreams until the soles on your shoes are worn off. And then buy another pair and keep chasing them. Golden gooses, of course, but Cuzzo ain't there yet, okay? Make as many memories as possible because tomorrow's not promised. Keep stress to a minimum. It's not good for you. This lesson's still a work in progress for me. Sherry taught me that just because life isn't always fair, it's still worth living. Just find the good in life because life is so, so good. And we are blessed to be here right now in this moment, regardless of the circumstances. One of the most important lessons I've learned is to be good to people. Just be good. Give to others when and however you can, and love each other above all else. I'm sure all of you have learned something from Sherry, probably lots of things, just like I have. I know everyone sitting here and those watching tonight loves that beautiful woman and knows their life is better having known her. I encourage everyone here to keep Sherry in your hearts, take her with you everywhere you go, and try to live like Sherry. Live Sherry strong. Give back in some way. Bite your lip when something negative wants to slip out. Live life in the moment more often. Be present. If we all do one small thing every day to honor Sherry and keep her legacy alive, then guess what? Cancer did not win. So please remember to thank Sherry's family and doctors who worked tirelessly to keep her here with us. Their perilous fight and Sherry's sheer fearlessness and determination gave us many more years with her. There's a lot that we don't know, because Sherry just made cancer look so freaking easy. But what I will tell you is that for her family and for Sherry, it was a full-time job. And they all deserve so much acknowledgement for the sacrifices, the sleepless nights, the heartache they experienced, and the love they poured into Sherry while she worked so hard to stay healthy and make an impact on this world. I love you, Sherry Lynn Pollex. And know that until we see you again in heaven, we will be loving you just as big as we ever have. Thank you.
We need to give a huge round of applause to all of our storytellers for doing an incredible job. Just giving us even more of a look at an amazing woman, again, that we all loved so much. So we're about to show a video, and I'm going to warn you and tell you that have your tissue ready. But remember to smile when you're crying, because that's what it's about. So if we could roll a short video about Sherry's amazing life with a few of those highlights. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Sherry Pollex. I'm a stage 3C ovarian cancer survivor, the vice president of the Martin Truex Jr. Foundation, and founder of SherryStrong.org.
Tell me, what does it look like in heaven? Is it peaceful? Is it free like they say?
Honestly, when we first started the foundation, we really just had a mission of helping children that were in need. And then we started to visit the Children's Hospital downtown, and there was just something about them that we fell in love with.
Does the sun shine bright forever? Have your fears and your pain gone away?
You know, knowing then that we were helping, teaching these children how to battle cancer, and then that I would have to be that person 7 years later, and I would have to show them how tough I was. This is definitely ironic, but I think God works in mysterious ways and had a plan for me that whole time, and knew that if we picked oncology, that, you know, that's where my heart was gonna be, and I was gonna have a passion for that in my life.
'Cause here on earth it feels like everything good is missing since you left. There's an emptiness.
My disease has also brought a lot of amazing things to our foundation. We used to just focus on pediatric cancer, and now we focus on ovarian cancer and gynecological cancers as well. It really brought a lot of blessings into my life in regards to the way I live my life. The memories I make with my family, the love and compassion I have for other people, but also just my drive to want to help the world be a better place. And then if that is through helping children battling cancer and women going through gynecological cancers, then so be it.
Oh, I hope you're dancing in the sky. I hope you're singing in the angels' choir. And I hope the angels know what they have. I'll bet it's so nice up in heaven since you arrived.
So ironically, Sherry Strong was really created from the fans, the race fans. We had all these people that started this Sherry Strong hashtag when I was sick. So it was really a way for fans to communicate with me when I was going through treatment and send me little notes of encouragement. And at the time, our foundation director was like, hey, I think we're onto something here. What if we started a website to empower other women to take control of their mind, body, and spirit? How can we teach other people all the information that we've learned? We have people from all over the world that visit SherryStrong.org. I mean, every time we look at it, we just can't believe that people from all over the world are visiting and looking at what we're doing, and we want to set an example for what that looks like for, you know, life after cancer and when you're first diagnosed and going through it.
So tell me, what do you do up in heaven? All your days filled with love and light. Is there music? Is there art and invention? Tell me, are you happy? Are you more alive?
But for me, cancer was just such a blessing in my life because it really gave me a purpose and made me realize that I wanted to live my life helping other people, and it's just been such an honor to be able to do that. I think it really forced me to slow down and realize what was important in my life, and I guess during that time in my life, you know, I really needed that. I really needed a perspective, and I needed for God to show me in a mysterious way what was really important, and He did.
'Cause here on earth it feels like everything good is missing since you left. And here on earth everything's different. There's an emptiness.
I mean, I feel like cancer has taught me so much about my life and the type of person I want to be and how I want to live my life. I think the number one most important thing that cancer has taught me is how to live.
Oh, I hope you're dancing in the sky, and I hope you're singing in the angel's choir.
I'll continue to do that as long as I'm here and as long as I'm healthy. And, we have a long way to go, but this is just the beginning.
I've been in some nights up in heaven since you arrived, since you arrived.
Wow. Again, so I have a long list of thank yous, but I wanted to say feel free to get up and enjoy. Get some wine, get some beer, go to the Garth. I really feel that if Sherry knew all that stuff was in there and y'all were just standing out here, she'd be kind of pissed. So make sure you have a glass of wine, have a beer, and we're going to have some entertainment and a toast to Sherry. But it does take a village, they say, a team to put things like that together. And as we start to wind down the evening, we do have a list of people that we need to thank. And first wanted to recognize the entire Pollex family. Sharon, Greg, Diane, Jill, Fuzz, Jay, Holly, Claudia, and Angela. And thank you for the love and the support that you gave to Sherry. And more importantly, in her darkest days, she was so blessed to have you all. Additionally, really want to thank Dale and Amy Earnhardt, along with Kelly and L.W. Miller. Thank you so much for allowing us to host this here. And I need a big shout out to my buddy Sonny and Shelly, Jenny, Dave, all of the people here that work so hard to make this place beautiful for tonight. Thor Maldwin and his staff here at Evermore Productions, and for the donation of all the AV services, and for the creation of that picture slideshow video. And to Billy Malden, again, the ministry at MRO and the donations of labor, and for the faith, Billy, for the faith. Thank you. Tara Creedon, Chris, and I messed up Chris's name today, so they straightened me out. So Chris Bukitas and the staff at Boot Catering. So thank you for providing all the food and catering for tonight. Scott and Sandy Clements and the staff at Hop In for the beer tonight. And again, make sure you get out there and drink that beer. Andy at the staff of Cook Rentals for taking care of donating the furniture and the decor for this evening. Al from Grand Restrooms and donating the extra restrooms, and that's important, as many of you know. So thank you, Al. Our friends at the Rescue Ranch for letting us borrow the tables, chairs, lights, and for this event. And Chrissy, you're amazing. Heck of a truck driver too, Chrissy. Gotta tell you. Fantastic folks at the Brawley Market, the donation of all the plants and flowers for the celebration. The wonderful men and women at Bespoke Marketing and Sports Entertainment for volunteering to help set up this event, and all the work that you put in with greeters and the tribute video and helping clean up after. Thank you. And the Iredell Sheriff's Department, Lieutenant Chris Stone, helping keep us safe this evening, getting everybody in and out. Shauna Robinson, you did an amazing job, girl. This place is beautiful and creating atmosphere, really representing Sherry's life. Adam Sanders for the amazing performance that we're about to hear. Yep, gave it away. Sorry, but I'm going to pre-thank him because I know he's going to be amazing. And finally to Lisa Becker, Aaron Evernham, Chrissy Newman, and Brooke Fall for pulling this event together to celebrate the life of their friend. So, we know that Sherry loved listening to music. And one of Sherry's things to do, one of the things she loved to do most was listening to music. and the person she loved to listen to more than anybody was Adam Sanders. And we are very, very lucky to have Adam here with us tonight. So I'd like to invite him up to do a few songs, and I'd like you to stay and because Adam's going to sing some songs, and then we're going to bring some of the girls up to have a special toast and a special song for Sherry. So, Adam, thank you very much. Enjoy.
Two, hey. I've got me in the monitor, but no guitar in the monitor. There we go. Well, I just want to say really quick what an honor it is to be here tonight. There's been so many amazing things said about Sherry, but Sherry and her family have been so amazing to me over the last few years, and it has been an honor to call her a friend of mine. And there have been many nights where we would sit around a campfire or around the pool, and she'd ask me to get the guitar out and just play some songs. And so, like Ray said, this is a part of the night where I want you guys, and I know Sherry would want this, for you guys to just mix and mingle and celebrate, have fun, fellowship. And we're going to play you some songs that I hope that you know and some maybe that you don't. And at the end, we're going to have a very special moment. But we're going to play some of Sherry's favorites that she always enjoyed playing. So if we have any 90s country music fans, we know Sherry was a big 90s fan. I bet you never heard old Marshall Dillon say, Miss Kitty, have you ever thought of running away? Settling down, would you marry me? If I asked you twice and begged you pretty please, she just said yes in a New York minute. They never tied the knot, his heart wasn't in it. They just stole a kiss as he rode away. He never hung his hat up at Kitty's place. I should have been a cowboy, should have learned to roam and ride, wearing my six-shooter, riding my pony on a cattle drive, stealing a young girl's heart, just like Jane and Rose, singing those campfire songs. Oh, I should have been a cowboy. I might have had a sidekick with a funny name, running wild through the hills, chasing Jesse James. Ended up on the brink of danger, riding shotgun for the Texas Rangers. Go west, young man, haven't you been told California's full of whiskey, women and gold, sleeping out all night under their desert stars, dreaming my eye in a prayer in my heart. I should have been a cowboy, I should have learned to roam and ride, wearing my six-shooter, riding my pony on a cattle drive, stealing a young girl's heart, just like Jane and Rose, singing those campfire songs. Oh, I should have been a cowboy, I should have been a cowboy. I should have been a cowboy, I should have learned to roam and ride, I'll be wearing my six-shooter, riding my pony on a cattle drive, stealing a young girl's heart, yeah, just like Jane and Rose, singing those campfire songs. Oh, I should have been a cowboy, yeah, I should have been a cowboy, I should have been a cowboy, yeah. Thank you so much. Can I get a little more guitar, please? Up here in the wedges. I don't think I've got any. A little more, please. A little more guitar. All right, we're going to keep with the 90s country theme here. When the sun goes down on my side of town, the lonesome feeling comes to my door, and the whole world turns blue. There's a rundown bar across the railroad tracks. I got a table for two way in the back where I sit alone and think of losing you. I spend most every night beneath the light of a neon moon. If you lose your one and only, there's always room here for the lonely to watch your broken dreams dance in and out of the beams of a neon moon. I think of two young lovers running wild and free. I close my eyes and I sometimes see you in the shadow of this smoke-filled room. No telling how many tears I've sat here and cried, or how many lies that I've lied, telling my poor heart she'll come back someday. Oh, but I'll be alright as long as there's light from a neon moon. If you lose your one and only, there's always room here for the lonely. Watch your broken dreams dance in and out of the beams of a neon moon. Oh, if you lose your one and only, there's always room here for the lonely to watch your broken dreams dance in and out of the beams of a neon moon. Of a neon moon. Thank you, thank you. Can I get just a little more guitar, please? A little more guitar. So this next song is one of the Sherry's favorites of mine that I ever released as an artist, and this is the very first song that I ever put out. It was a big hit for us back on Sirius XM The Highway. It's called Nothing to Do with Drink. Peach floating in a mason, a little bus chasing. Friday night high, got the short skirt shaking. Flat bills flip back, bell buckles blinking back. Out in the cut, got four drives of Cadillacs. You tonight, you tonight. Just sipping on the good times. Yeah, got nowhere to be but right here in the country in the moonlight. So reach down in the cold and pull another one out of that cold ice. Pop a top, don't stop, don't even think. We got all night to do our thing. We got nothing to do but drink. We got a hot song bumping, door speakers thumping, fire popping high, got these 40 acres jumping. Ain't doing nothing wrong, we going on alone. You got a cup, fill it up, pour it strong. Just sipping on the good times. Yeah, got nowhere to be but right here in the country in the moonlight. So reach down in the cold and pull another one out of that cold ice. Papa Top, don't stop, don't even think. We got all night to do our thing. We got nothing to do but drink. Yeah, we got nothing to do but drink. We're just sipping on the good times. Yeah, got nowhere to be, even right here in the country in the moonlight. So reach down in the cold and pull another one out of that cold ice. Papa Top, don't stop, don't even think. We got all night to do our thing. We got nothing to do but drink. Yeah, we got nothing to do but drink. Yeah, we got nothing to do but drink. Yeah, we got nothing to do but drink. Thank you, thank you. All right, we're going to see if we can give you girls something to dance to here, all right? Here we go. Creole Williams lived down the dirt road, made homemade wine like nobody I know. Dropped by one Friday night and said, can you help me, Creole? I got a little girl waiting on me and wanna treat her right. Got what you need, son, as we sit down in the cellar. He reached through the cobwebs and he turned on the light and said, there might be a little dust on the bottle, but don't let it fool you about what's inside. There might be a little dust on the bottle, but it's one of those things that gets sweeter with time. She was sitting on the porch swing as I pulled up the driveway. My old heart was racing as she climbed inside. Slid over a little close as we drove down to the lake road. Watched the sun fade in that big red sky. I reached under the front seat and said, here's something special. She's been waiting for a night like tonight. But there might be a little dust on the bottle, but don't let it fool you about what's inside. There might be a little dust on the bottle, but it's one of those things that gets sweeter with time. You're still with me. We've made some memories. After all these years, there's one thing I found. Some say good love, it's like a fine wine, keeps getting better as the days go by. There might be a little dust on the bottle, but don't let it fool you about what's inside. There might be a little dust on the bottle, but don't one of those things that gets sweeter with time. There might be a little dust on the bottle, but don't let it fool you about what's inside. There might be a little dust on the bottle, it's one of those things that gets sweeter with time. Yeah! We got us a dancing crew now. So I know there's a lot of NASCAR people here tonight. I grew up a huge NASCAR fan. Dale Earnhardt was my favorite driver of all time, and I never would have dreamed that I would be standing at Dale Jr.'s place playing music tonight. But this is a song that Cole Swindell and I and our good buddy Taylor Phillips wrote in Atlanta, Georgia. We were sitting in turn one of the track, and we started talking about the way that we grew up. And this is a song that we wrote that was on my debut album that was in 2021. It's called Daddy, Jesus, and Earnhardt. We stick a number 3 sticker on anything and stick on. Spend Sunday mornings front pew, just getting our praying on, looking up to somebody who could never do nothing wrong. He was always looking after us, just some good old boys, real as they could be. It's everything that made me me. From Talladega all the way to Daytona, that old King James we were raised up on. Our heroes gave us more than our last names. When you're from where we're from, they made everything. Yeah, that racing, praying made us who we are. Daddy, Jesus, and Earnhardt. One was a checkered flag intimidator. One was a give-it-all country boy savior. One turned that house into a home on an acre. Taught me all about life and everything in between. From Talladega all the way to Daytona, that old King James we were raised up on. Our heroes gave us more than our last names. When you're from where we're from, they made everything. Yeah, that racing, praying made us who we are. Daddy, Jesus, and Earnhardt. Yeah, the older I get, the more I get. Why heroes get remembered, the legends never die. From Talladega all the way to Daytona, that old King James we were raised up on. Our heroes gave us more than our last names. When you're from where we're from, they made everything. Yeah, that racing, praying made us who we are. Daddy, Jesus, and Earnhardt. Yeah, it was Daddy, Jesus, and Earnhardt. Thank you, thank you. I got time for just a couple more for you guys. And then I'm not sure what is coming next. But before we get to the last song, I was looking at songs to sing here tonight that I knew Sherry enjoyed, and some requests that she had asked me to play through the years. But last year at Catwalk, she called and asked if I would play an acoustic performance there. And towards the end, she gets on stage, and we just kind of start shooting from the hip and just start playing songs. And Kelly got up with us and sang, and I'm pretty positive that in the moment I played the wrong key of the song, and it was a disaster. But some of the most amazing photos came out of that, where Sherry is just so full of life and singing every word. And I can see her smile on my face, or see her her face in my mind whenever I think of this next song. And just because we shared that moment, I want to play this song that we sang together at Catwalk in the last one. It's called Big Green Tractor. She had a shiny little Beamer with a rag top down, sitting in the dry, but she wouldn't get out. The dogs are all barking and wagging around, and I just laughed and said, yeah, I'll get in. She had on a new dress and she curled her hair. She was looking too good not to go somewhere. Said, what you wanna do, baby, I don't care. We can go to the show, or we can stay right here, and I can take you for a ride on my big green tractor. We can go slow, or make it go faster, down through the woods and down to the pasture. As long as I'm with you, it really don't matter if I'm up in my lap and drive if you want to. Girl, you know you got me to hold on to. We can go to town, but baby, if you'd rather, I'll take you for a ride on my big green tractor. She said, we can fire it up and I can show you around. Sit up on the hill and watch the sun go down. When the fireflies are dancing and the moon comes out, we can turn on the lights and head back to the house. And we can take another ride on my big green tractor. We can go slow or make it go faster, down through the woods and down to the pasture. As long as I'm with you, it really don't matter. Climb up in my lap and drive if you want to. Girl, you know you got me to hold on to. We can go to town, but baby, if you'd rather, I'll take you for a ride on my big green tractor. Just let me dust off the seat. Put your pretty little arms around me. Here we go, yeah. You can climb up in my lap, drive if you want to. Girl, you know you got me to hold on to. We can go to town, but baby, if you'd rather, I'll take you for a ride on my big green tractor. Oh yeah, we can go to town. We can go another round on my big green tractor. Thank you so much.
Well, they jacked that up there good and high. I think Kenny did that to me on purpose. So, Adam, man, you're awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you. All right, so this is a party going now. Okay, the bar is full. Adam's up here singing some great songs, people dancing. And right now, yes, right, get those wands ready because we've got something special. I'd like to welcome up here, invite some of Sherry's close friends, Aaron Evernham, Brooke Fall, Chrissy Newman. They're going to have a special toast, and after the toast, Adam's got one more song that he's going to sing, and we'd like you to light your wands and be ready as part of that song. Ladies?
As this evening's celebration, comes to a close, girl, get your shit out of here. Sorry, Sherry would like this. It's only fitting to make a toast to our girl Sherry. We can certainly all agree she was a warrior. but she was also the most genuine and caring friend who loved to give us the most over-the-top generous gifts. She always looked like a supermodel, but was just as happy having a dance party in her kitchen in her pajamas with her messy hair.
Shush, y'all shush. This is terrible. I'm good. Thank you. Thank you very much. Love you too, Jay. She could speak so eloquently. She could speak so eloquently, hosting catwalk or speaking to Congress. But she could also cuss like a sailor and make any of us laugh at any given moment. She lit up every room she walked in, but never acted with an ounce of arrogance. She was the girl everyone wanted to be friends with, and yet somehow she made all of us feel like we were her closest.
Cancer helps Sherry see the beauty in life, to appreciate the small things, and like she always loved to say, make memories. May we all learn from her, and may we think of her every time we chase that perfect sunset. Until we meet again, my friend. Cheers. Your turn, bud.
No pressure whatsoever.
So the family had, can I get just a little bit more of me, please, in the wedge? I'm sorry. So the family had called and asked if I would come and play some songs, and of course, you know, I was honored to be here. But there was one specific song that that was asked that I play tonight, and I know this was one of Sherry's favorite songs of all time, and it's so fitting to do this here tonight with all of you. And so as I try to get through this the best way that I can, I would encourage you guys to just think of all the great memories that you have with Sherry, and if you know the words, sing it with me. It's perfect outside, it's like God let me dial up the weather. Got the whole crew here, I ain't seen some of them in forever. It's one of those never forget it, better stop and take it in kind of scenes. Everything's just right, except for one thing. You should be here, standing with your arm around me here, cutting up, cracking a cold beer, saying cheers. Hey y'all, it's sure been a good year. It's one of those moments that's got your name written all over it. And you know that if I had just one wish, it'd be that you didn't have to miss this. You should be here. You'd be taking way too many pictures on your phone, showing them off to everybody that you know back home, and even some you don't. Yeah, they say now you're in a better place, and I would be too if I could see your face. You should be here, standing with your arm around me here, cutting up, cracking a cold beer, saying cheers. Hey y'all, it's sure been a good year. It's one of those moments that's got your name written all over it. And you know that if I had just one wish, it'd be that you didn't have to miss this. Oh, you should be here, you'd be loving this. You'd be freaking out, you'd be smiling, yeah, I know you'd be all about what's going on right here, right now. Gotta wish somehow you could be here. Oh, you should be here. this is one of those moments. It's got your name written all over it. And you know that if I had just one wish, it'd be that you didn't have to miss this. You should be here. Yeah, you should be here. Thank you guys so much.
Adam, you're amazing. Let's have really another big round of applause for Adam. Thank you very, very much, buddy. Thank you. Thank you. We've got a special request from Greg Pollex. He wrote something special, and I'd like to bring Kenny Crosswaite up here to read it, please, Kenny. No microphone jokes this time, buddy. I'm just going to hand you this one.
It's okay. Several people came up and told me where I could find platform shoes. I appreciate that. You know, one of the most concise statements in all of the Bible is where God says, and in my effort to sometimes express what Christianity is, I just use this one phrase. It's about rejoicing in the Lord. God wants us to celebrate, but he wants us to know why we celebrate. We've all been a part of celebrations where you're not sure what it's tied to. But then in this setting, we know it represents all the stories and the characteristics of those stories. Represents every moment that everyone has had with Sherry, those that knew her intimately and those that just knew of her and were caught up in the smile and radiance. Greg has put this together. It's an honor to be asked to read something that expresses his heart and the heart of the family. And it's so in line with the truth that was Adam just sang in that song. Let me try to go through it with you. We all know Sherry loved flowers. Yes. We think the flower is a fine example of our Sherry. The flower is brought forth from a seed that is nurtured and coaxed to grow. The seed fed and watered to help it burst through into the world. It begins to grow and take shape. It reaches for the sun every day. It takes on its own form, its strength, its personality. It sets itself apart from other flowers. It is determined to be the most fragrant flower of all. Now, Greg would not have, maybe he knew this verse, but one of Sherry's favorite verses through the years was a verse in 2 Corinthians 2. And it talked about how God leads us to triumph, and he manifests in us a sweet and fragrant aroma. And that's what this is really saying. In a way, God, I think, led Greg to be able to express this tied into one of Sherry's favorite truths. It matures and it blooms. The blossoms take our breath away. So sturdy and so beautiful and so vibrant. The flower soaks in its environment. The flower takes very little from us, but it gives us so much. Its beauty, its radiance, its captivating aroma. In a room filled with people, the flower brightens the room, is calming and fills the room with pleasantness. It's always giving, always present, always pleasing. It attracts the attention of all in the room. They are drawn to the flower, but like all living things, it has a lifespan, a time to shine, a time to contribute before it is gone. It has brightened our lives, but now has perished. Our lives, the room, our outlook seems and feels a little dimmer. The flower is missed, but the beauty and the fragrance linger in our minds and hearts. There is a void, but alas, we know the seeds will take root in another place, in another time, and the flower will bloom again. I think that really sums up all the things that we're dancing for, drinking for, laughing for. And I think, as has already been said, let's continue that. You know, it always makes me sad when we wait for an occasion like this to express what I think Sherry would like for us to express every day. Let's don't wait. Let's really don't. So if it, I know we've done it, but if you'd let me pray again, and at the end, let's all say amen together, because the word amen means, in the original language, means so be it. When we pray to the Father and we say amen, we're saying, so be these requests, so be this reality. So let's, when I get to the amen, let's do it as a family, as a community, as people that are connected through our faith and through Sherry's life. Let's pray. Father, thank you for this evening and for the reason that we're here. Father, thank you that we can celebrate even in sadness because of the reality of her being. We thank you for the aroma that she had and the aroma that we can call to memory and have it linger in our hearts and minds. Father, manifest yourself in us. Allow us to carry on in strength, in love, in gratitude, in compassion, in laughter, in rejoicing, all the things that were mentioned. Let us be people that run to express love, run to express gratitude, run and not let nothing get in the way of our connection. Father, let our relationships be bigger than the issues. And we ask this in Jesus' name. And all God's people said, amen. God bless you. Keep hugging.
Thank you, Kenny. Thank you, Kenny. All right, wow. What an incredible night. What a beautiful night, filled with so much love. Thank you all for coming and celebrating the life of one of the most amazing women we'll ever meet. Carry the torch, right? Carry the torch. So, carry the torch. God bless you all. Get home safely. Thank you.
Got the bar in the palm of her hand, and she's a 90s country fan like I